The other thing I wanted to ask you, you did mention this in your talk about Peace Through Strength. There's a very, very good column by my friend Walter Russell Mead in today's Wall Street Journal. He's a very smart guy, foreign policy expert. And his title of the column is U.S. Shrugs as World War III Approaches. And essentially, it's a discussion of the unholy alliance between Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. It's also a discussion on the report of the Commission on the National Defense Strategy, which is a bipartisan commission, as I'm sure you know. We do not have deterrence. We have appeasement. Sanctions have been lifted on these enemy countries. Tariffs may be called for. Mr. Trump, I think, would use tariffs for non-trade purposes, but we don't know that yet. The military budget has declined in real terms for a number of years right now. So with respect to Peace Through Strength, Mr. Mead suggests, and I think you hinted at this in your excellent talk, at the moment we have neither peace nor strength. What are we going to do about it?
He's right. We have to have a total refocus. It's about prioritizing spending. We're at the most dangerous moment since World War II. I don't think there's any dispute about that. And you're exactly right, and he's right. Russia, China, Iran, North Korea are coordinating together because you see a moment of opportunity. We projected weakness on the world stage for the last 4 years, and it's gotten us into this terribly dangerous situation. I just, last weekend before last, I had to fly. The terribly ill-timed G7 speakers meeting was in Verona, Italy. It's the only international trip I've made as speaker because I don't have time to do it, but I could not be there because we're the United States. And so our allies are there and they're waiting, and you have a sense of the importance of the United States generally, but when you go into a forum like that, when you're with allied nations, you realize how important America is. And Reagan used to remind us, I think it was Pope Pius XII who said after World War II, the leadership of the free world was placed upon the shoulders of the United States. We carry that responsibility with all the burden that comes along with it. But if we're not strong, and if we do not project strength, and we do not send a chill down the spines of our adversaries, then freedom is endangered all around the world. A strong America is good for the whole planet. How do we fix it, Larry? We got to get Donald J. Trump elected president again, okay? They fear him, and our allies respect him.
And we will have to increase defense spending.
Yes.
Which is dropping below 3% of GDP.
Yes.
As I said, when I was a child, as Reagan's assistant budget director, it was about 6.5% of GDP. He had built it all the way up because of what Carter had done. And I'll just add, since we're quoting scripture here, did you just quote scripture?
I always do. I'm sure I probably did.
I'm not that good at quoting scripture, but Walter Russell Mead's much smarter than I am, and he concludes his piece today, the prophet Ezekiel, whom I've never met. The prophet Ezekiel spoke about the duty of the watchman on the city wall to sound the trumpet when enemies approach. Now, that is one heck of a relevant quote.
Well, you're acting as an Ezekiel, and so is he, and we do need watchmen on the wall because these are dangerous moments. But look, I believe we can return to the principle of peace through strength, and I believe that will be good. Our allies will respect us, our enemies will fear us, and as President Trump rightfully said on the stage of the convention, we didn't have all this under my watch, right? You didn't have Russia invading Ukraine and Iran and its proxies attacking Israel. You didn't have China with all of its provocations and, buying up farmland next to our military installations. I mean, none of that stuff happened on Trump's watch because he was a firm hand at the wheel. And that's what we need again, desperately. Imagine Kamala Harris as the commander-in-chief of the U.S. military. It's inconceivable that we would be in that situation. So we got to fight harder than we ever have.